The two implicit association tests that I took were the religion and disability. Religion test results suggested no automatic preference between Islam and Judaism, 26%, which makes some sense to me due to my lack of knowledge about Islam and Judaism religion. I do not know enough to judge or be critical about either one from my point of view, and it's difficult to distinguish one from the other. To discuss the test, I was really stuck on the one question asking, how religious am I? Because I instantly thought religion, and that threw me off a second because I was like, I have a relationship with God, because there is a difference to me, because religion can keep you from growing. A relationship to continue is continuous and growing. And then I was like, hello, it was just a question. Don't think into it that much, which I was able to answer once I thought it through. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's funny to me on how the test categorize each one with good or bad and then flip it, which makes sense because that's how our mind or thoughts have been programmed to distinguish from one or the other what we have been exposed, taught, or brought up in. Disability test results suggested a slight automatic preference for physical able people and over physically disabled people. That response surprised me to a certain extent because I didn't realize the slight preference, which is why these tests have been created to show our biases that are not recognized due to our own beliefs, which is why we learn something new every day, right? Also, the reason learning is an excitement to me in this season of my life is because it's intriguing. I will say it has to be the wisdom and knowledge of God that He has given me and not my own intellectual. The challenges I can foresee in addressing implicit biases in myself is not recognizing that I am being biased. Sometimes we don't realize it until someone points it out. And I chose religion and disability to see what would be my biases. Of course, disability, I work with children with disabilities, and then religion, I have encountered a lot of discrepancies on religion. Um, the awareness of these biases impacts my role as an educator due to the diversity of students in my classroom that I serve or teach. They all have their own religion and or disabilities, and acknowledging our biases will help support and teach them, right? When I consider the definition of culture and culturally responsive teaching as defined by Gloria Ladson-Billings and Geneva Gay, Gloria and Geneva refer to shared beliefs, values, practices, and behaviors within a group, including language, traditions, and ways of thinking. It's a dynamic system that shapes how individuals interact and engage with the world. I think about the diversity once again because it makes plenty of sense, right? Their beliefs, the values, the practices, behaviors within a group, language barrier, traditions, ways of thinking are all in our students' life in one way or the other. Those are the students that we serve in our classroom. All that goes into play with what we encounter, right? And we can relate to that as well. Culture responsive teaching, both Gloria Ladson-Billings and Geneva Gay have contributed significantly to the understanding of culturally responsive teaching. Gloria defines CRT as an educational approach that seeks to empower students by recognizing their cultural identities and incorporating their cultural experiences into the curriculum. She emphasizes that CRT helps bridge the gap between students, home, and school cultures. The three main components: high expectations for our students, cultural competence, a teaching approach that connects academic content to students' cultural context. Critical consciousness, encouraging students to critically engage with and challenge social injustices. For Ladson-Billings, CRT is just about celebrating diversity. It isn't just about celebrating diversity. It's about creating an environment where students can thrive academically while also respected and validated for their cultural identities. Geneva Gay stresses culturally responsive teaching and involves creating learning environments that affirm the cultural backgrounds of students and draw from those cultures to make learning more relevant and effective. She describes CRT as an instructional approach that considers students' cultural reference in all aspects of teaching, from content to teaching methods. For Gay, CRT is about using students' cultural knowledge to make learning more meaningful, building a positive relationship between teachers and students by valuing students' identities, and promoting academic success for our students, especially those from historically marginalized groups. And I did Google marginalized groups for the actual meaning, and is which the meaning is marginalized groups are groups of people who are excluded from mainstream society or who experience discrimination or unequal treatment. Those are the students we serve, and sometimes us. These readings are impactful because the teaching is on point with what we are dealing with daily. Thank you.